nigga. Wish I had a step-by-step book on the roads in the past you took. When you lost it all, how'd you get it back? Work for it, did it fall up in your lap? Yeah, how'd it get rich, nigga? 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 Right up on the corners, I stepped foot. Saw the money, I was right next to it. Had the haters like, how the hell they do it? Made it out the ghetto, glory, hallelujah. Came up out the sewer. They ain't never show me how to hit a lick and split the profit with the fam. Most of niggas counterfeit and never been authentic. They gon' fuck when shit hit the fan. In the kitchen's whipping overtime. Comes a drip, but it was overtime. Fell asleep, a nigga had a dream. Now I'm whipping foreign all the time. $100,000 in the dump. Stash another 100 in the ball. Had to find out where to put the piece. Just to finally see my data ball. How to get rich, nigga? How to get rich, nigga? Ain't nobody gon' tell ya. How to get rich, nigga? You gotta let it on your own. How to get rich, nigga? Ain't nobody gon' tell ya. How to get rich, nigga? Wish I had a step-by-step book on the roads in the past you took. When you lost it all, how'd you get it back? Work for it, did it fall up in your lap? Yeah, how to get rich, nigga? How to get rich, nigga? How to get rich, nigga? How to get rich, nigga?
It's the deal, man. Back again, PolitiKan the podcast, season 2, episode 17. It's the season finale. So as you can see, I'm in this one dolo, man. Just wanted to bring y'all a message. You know, kind of reiterate what we're doing here at Rigor Mortis Studios. So this is just going to be a explanation of what we got coming in the future. So right now, there's about 5 shows coming out on PolitiKan Broadcasting on our channel that I produce. Side B is one. The Social will be returning. Thursday morning recordings. Alcohol Enthusiasts. We're coming with a show kind of like Rap City The Basement called Tapped In, the podcast. We're going to have like live studio sessions, have different artists come through and, you know, do the interview, preview their music, you know, and then bless the mic before they get on. So, you know, we got a lot of things coming. So, Rigor Mortis Studios, we're located on E Street and Court in downtown San Bernardino. So essentially what Rigor Mortis Studios is a compound for creators. Kind of like they have Vector 90 in Los Angeles that Nipsey Hussle's a part of. So essentially I was doing my podcast out of my kitchen table. So I was studio shopping because I wanted to up my content and I wanted to look more professional. So I was studio shopping, end up partnering with the homie that had a space. And I was looking to get a space essentially just for me to do my podcast in. But once I saw this space that we're in, my whole plan changed. Like, you know, when God speaks to you and he tells you, like, move, it's time, you know, sometimes you just gotta listen and gotta jump. So after about a month of negotiations, we end up agreeing upon terms and acquiring the space. But we acquired it, took it as is. So there was no construction done, there was no flooring, baseboards, paint. It just looked like essentially nothing. Like if you came in here, you wouldn't know what we were doing in here. Like, but I had a vision and I made a PowerPoint, and I remember making a PowerPoint because I wanted to put my whole business plan down. So I made a PowerPoint, invited all the homies over, like, look, this is how we gonna get it. This is what I see with the space. And 3 niggas showed up. Nobody showed up, you know. I don't know. You know how it's hard to get people to see your vision from the get-go. So after that, you know, I showed everybody the PowerPoint and they're looking at me like, nigga, how are we gonna do all this? And I'm like, easy, just put your head down and get it done. Like, a lot of people saw obstacles. I saw good problems. There's people out there on drugs. There's people out there with mental health issues. There's people out there that can't find a way. So for me to be in a position where everything that everybody was bringing up that possibly could go wrong or be negative, I'm looking at them kind of crazy, like those are good problems. I'd much rather have those problems on my plate than not have the option to even do any of this stuff. So when I finally politicked on getting a space and we got the flooring in, so of course none of us are carpenters. We put our own blood, sweat, and tears into this. We did the flooring, we did all the renovations ourselves. So we spent a lot of money just fucking up, like not knowing what we doing, wasting material, buying the wrong material, like a lot of shit, trial and error. But we could have easily like went to Home Depot and found some Mexicans to put it in real fast or pay somebody outside, but I wanted our own like hands to be the ones that put this together, you know what I'm saying? I wanted it to be a part of the story. So after we kind of put it together, we started to launch different podcasts. You know, I started to do my podcast out of here. And the plan for this whole space is that we have like the green screen, we have full photography set up with multiple backdrops. We have about 1,000 square feet to do what we do. So we have basically an on-site gallery, and we are also partners in the event center downstairs where we're doing jazz and R&B every Saturday night. And we're also going to be throwing more events like sipping paints and like art festivals and just more cultural events for people to do things in the Inland Empire and in San Bernardino, because besides Riverside County, like there's no nightlife in the IE, and you know we're setting out to change that. So we basically created the compound. We could have did it in LA, like we could have did it in a more lucrative spot if we wanted to go for the money, but it wasn't about the money. It was about bringing back the city. So our whole plan, we call it the objective, is to bring back life into downtown San Bernardino. Because they used to have like Carlos O'Brien's and like the Fox Theater having the college parties, and there used to be like music festivals at the Nas Center, and used to be things for you to do. A lot of the crime that's occurring in San Bernardino is because there is nothing for these people to do. Like there's nothing but the hood and drugs and bullshit out here that San Bernardino offers you. So we essentially wanted to create something for the like-minded people out in the Inland Empire, for us to get together and put our heads together and try to change the situation. Now, me personally, I got into broadcasting because I used to be deep into the conspiracy theories, the Illuminati and the Boule and all this bullshit that they try to sell you. And a lot of that shit is just a distraction to keep you away from the real, what's really going on. So a lot of the times you see me in the episode saying you gotta learn the difference between guns and butter. Now let me break that and tell you exactly what I mean by that. What I mean by that is that you have to follow the money. A lot of the times in the media, all these scandals and all this so-called fake news and all these Me Too movements and all that, that is the topic of conversation. You never hear anybody talk about the money. When you hear them talk about money, it's in a proposal for something new. You never hear them talking about where the money is actually going right now as we speak. So when they say, oh, Trump needs this money to build a wall, most people was like, well, why should we give this money to Trump? Why should the wall cost that much? But my brain goes, well, how much money do we have in the first place? And that's the guns. Knowing the finances behind what's actually going on. Like, are we losing money as a country? What is the state of the dollar bill? What does Social Security mean? What is a 401k? How are you going to retire? Everything I'm looking at is retirement and passing down through lineage. Like, if you don't have anything to retire on, then you're going to work your whole life. Therefore, you never retired. Therefore, you never accumulated anything to pass down. So they keep you working, they keep you unretired, to keep you from having anything to pass down. And this is called capitalism. And this is America. And most people don't realize that these jobs are at-will employers. That means that they can fire you at will. So they have, like, no ties to you. They can literally, for the most part, get rid of you and use you up as needed. And me personally, I've been through this, being used up by companies and going out the way at jobs for no extra money, for no extra play. And at the end of the day, when they was done with me, they was done with me, and there was nothing I could do about that. So when I got into broadcasting, it was mainly, I saw the real problem, and the real problem is media. And the newest problem is social media, but the real problem still is media, because they're the ones that essentially make everything go. Social media, memes and stuff, they go viral, but that has nothing to do, that's not even close to what mainstream media can do with advertising dollars and making sure that their message or what they want you to see comes across your screen on your phone, on your television. Like, it's a big game. And the biggest problem with America is not racial tensions, it's not Donald Trump, it's not the government, it's not the white man, it's not history, it is media. The media is the ones that are changing history and erasing history and fixing history. They are the ones that's changing our perception and telling us what to see and what to think. I remember Jadakiss on that Respect My Conglomerate. Most people don't understand what a conglomerate is, but a conglomerate is a network of corporations. And these network of corporations basically essentially sit at the top of every main industry. So when they have a meeting at the round table, I run oil, he runs food, he runs water, and now we sit down and we basically control the resources, therefore we control the masses. And people don't really grasp that concept. And then as black people in America, we have to rely on white media or expect the mainstream media to paint a picture of us that necessarily they don't see. So I wanted to get into black media. I'm affiliated with a magazine, City Pride magazine, where we do kind of black pride events like the Black College Expo, and we did the Black History Parade. So we're doing more black society, black cultural type of events, because we want to shed light on the fact that there is black people out in society that's trying to make a change, that's doing things other than just gangbanging, selling dope, and rapping. Now, I do fuck with the gangsters and the strippers, fuck with the drug dealers. I'm not saying that all that shit is bad, because I understand being in there, coming from the streets, growing up in Pasadena, moving out to the suburbs. My dad lives in Idaho, so I got to go out into Idaho and be in a predominantly white area. So I've gotten to see like multiple sides of the spectrum. And I realized that they're all being manipulated by the media. So I got into media to just put my 2 cents in to politics and to let y'all niggas know, like, look, you can come from where I'm coming from, you can go through what I've been through and still come out here and do your shit, man, and still come out here and make these deals. You can still be a business owner, you can still cop commercial property, you can still do everything that you set out to do. I remember sitting at my kitchen table and I did an episode 00, and that was the day after I first saw the studio. And everything was fresh in my mind. I sat there and I looked at the camera, and I didn't have nothing said. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know. I just looked at the camera and said, I have faith that I will create everything that I wanted to create. And we're not even 6 months later, and here we are. So, God is good and God is always on time, but you got to be willing to jump, man. Like, when I first got this place, like, I almost lost my apartment 3-4 times, not knowing how I was going to pay rent. Like, all type of things happened in my life directly after acquiring this building that made me essentially almost want to give up on myself and want to be like, why me? Woe is me. But then at the end of the day, I had to learn, like, you know what? Pick your head up and look and realize that your problems are good. Like, God put all this weight on my shoulders for a reason, because He knows what my intentions are, and He knows that all I'm doing is trying to give back. I got so many people that I've tried to work with, and they've tried to essentially have like a misperception of what I'm doing, or they are on their own thing, or they just kind of brush it off like, oh, whatever, nigga. But they don't, until they get here. Like, I've had multiple people not fuck with me, but as soon as they get to the studio and see what I'm going, actually sit down with me and pick my brain, and then realize that, man, we can reach our goals a lot faster together than apart. And that's the only thing that I'm trying to convey to creators in San Bernardino County, is that we got talent, we got a space now, let's make it happen. So I sit here and I just look up and think, this is just the beginning. Like, we're doing virtual studio, we finna have multiple shows. Everything that, if you don't know what I'm doing, you don't understand the concept, you can go back and look at episode 00 on our YouTube page, and just go back and watch what I said I was going to do. And then look at what I'm doing now. The true measurement of a man is sticking by his word. A man of his word is a man of good character. So I told you I was going to do it. Sit back and watch. That's the end, though. Season finale. Episode 17. PolitiKan Podcast.